Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
For those of you who have joined us at the Polynesian Village Resort Hotel, aloha, and welcome aboard the Walt Disney World local monorail system. During the trip, we request that everyone please remain seated and that there please be no eating, drinking, or smoking. Thank you. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic. Did you already hear that? Probably not yet. Anyway, it's been a while. This is going to be a show. I think it'll be a short show, but it's a show I didn't want to put out right before the 50th, as it's going to lean a little bit on the negative and the criticism things. We're going to talk a little about the money involved in the Walt Disney World vacation, kind of like the a la carting of a Disney vacation, because before, a lot of times when you buy your Disney vacations, unless you went room only, you got a nice little package. It included everything. Now, it seems like you're paying for every little thing. I got this topic from listener Amy out there. Hi, Amy. How are you doing? And we'll talk about that a little bit later also. But let's just go over some of the things in the past that kind of were included in your Disney vacation, or maybe things that have become an extra charge that you need to kind of budget in there. Now, back in the day, I'm going way back in the day, way back. When you made a contemporary tower reservation, you just got a tower reservation and you rolled the dice as to whether you got the theme park view or the Bay Lake view. Both fantastic, but really everybody wanted the Magic Kingdom view. And then, eventually became, if you want the Magic Kingdom view, we'll guarantee it. You have to pay for it. It's an extra charge. Now, the Bay Lake price didn't go down. They just raised the price of the other side. That's going to be a theme with a lot of our Disney prices we're going to talk about here. Also, not to belabor the point about the free parking, you know where I'm at on the free parking. Enough said. Well, not enough said because I'm going to go off on it again. Now, I can kind of see paying for parking at the deluxe hotels that have very little parking. Contemporary doesn't have a great amount of parking. Polynesian has a smaller parking lot than a lot of them. I mean, I guess Riviera parking lot is small. So if you wanted to charge for parking for a deluxe resort hotel, I almost get it. But at the moderates, there's plenty of parking. The values, there's plenty of parking. So now, over the past few years now, we've been paying for parking. And at the time of the free parking announcement, I kind of hinted, if I didn't come out and say it, if you think Disney's not going to eventually charge the Magical Express people after watching all the people that they were shuttling back and forth for free, granted, it was built into their room prices and all that kind of thing. But if you don't think they're going to make that a paid option to get a little additional cash, I don't want to say you were crazy, but I thought the writing was on the wall. But although Magical Express gone away totally. So not only did Disney get away from Magical Express, now it's a paid option through Mears Motor Shuttle. And I don't know this for a fact, but I got to believe when you book it through Disney as part of a hotel reservation, that there might be a little bit of a kickback to Disney. So not only did Disney get it off their books, they don't have to do it, they don't have to maintain it, they don't have to pay for it. Now, they're going to get a little bit of a kickback from making the reservation, kind of like call it maybe a commission. I don't know what you're going to call it. But that went from an expense for them to a little bit of an income. And did the room prices go down? No. This is a lot like Apple's strategy for things. We're going to start taking things out of the box, but we're not going to lower the price of the phones. Like your phone chargers. Yeah, we're not going to give you, if everybody has phone chargers, we're not going to throw in phone chargers, the blocks. Although, I seem to be losing my blocks. Every time somebody needs a cord, I seem to lose a cord on a block. So, anyway, that's a different story for another day. Also recently, remember when you would buy a theme park ticket? Your only options were, you want the park hopper, you don't want the park hopper, 5, 10 days, anywhere in between. Actually, between 1 and 10. But it was a fixed price. Then, a couple years ago, whatever it is now, maybe 3 years ago, they went to the date-based dynamic pricing. So we could charge you more for the more demand days. And we recall at the time, there weren't that many days that were like the base days, the cheapest days of the year. There was, very few of those, but there was an excuse for almost every other day to have a higher price than the standard price. So again, another supply and demand thing. And I don't know if I'm saying this is wrong. I'm just saying it kind of irks me, as I know it's because I'm getting a lot of messages from a lot of people saying, Disney is charging us for everything now. And I'm not sure I can afford to go, or I got to put off the vacation. Now, park hopping also had an additional charge that a lot of people found value in. I'm one of them. I'm always a big fan of the park hopper. Now you cannot park hop till after 2. So now it's a little more inconvenient because sometimes you'd actually go to a park. You know what? I want to have breakfast at the Crystal Palace. Go to the Crystal Palace. I'm going to hang out, maybe do a couple fantasy land rides after that. Then I'm going to go over to Epcot. I want to enjoy the World Showcase countries today. Now you can't do that till after 2. So, I mean, the price is the same, but the convenience factor on that, to me, is a little less. Because if I'm park hopping, say I'm going to Epcot, I decided, you know what, I'm feeling like the Animal Kingdom today. I want to go over there. Now you got to wait till after 2. I don't know. It just seems like if I'm paying for an option, make it more convenient for me, not less. We touched on this earlier when we talked about the annual passes coming out. Prices went up, which, hey, I've pretty much resigned to the fact prices on the theme park tickets are always going to go up. Prices on the resort rooms are always going to go up. But when you start taking things away, like PhotoPass was taken away from the annual pass holders. Now, I didn't have an annual pass. I don't think I've ever paid for PhotoPass, maybe once. Maybe it came with something I don't remember. But again, we're taking a little bit of value away, but we're not lowering the price of the tickets. So again, a little extra something in there. And as I think I mentioned on the show with Jeremy, I can see them totally, depending on how ticket sales go and how annual pass sales go, that they'll start throwing in PhotoPass again as, hey, special annual pass program, free PhotoPass for this year. I feel like I'm doing an awful lot of complaining here. Maybe, but like I said, I feel like before I can go on and cover other 50th news and all the really super exciting things that are going on, I just need to get this out of the way because I think it's just facts that we just need to talk about, realize, and maybe adjust our vacation strategies or planning for these kind of trips. So early entry now, if you're a theme park guest staying at any park, 30 minutes early every day to every park. I could see where they think this is a value, and granted, getting into a park early is fantastic. 30 minutes before the show. Now, a lot of the parks open 30 minutes before anyway, if you were kind of in the know. But now, 30 minutes isn't a lot of time. So if you miss a bus, or you miss a Skyliner, or you have to change somebody's diaper all of a sudden before you go out the door, you've lost your 30-minute advantage that you had. It just seemed to me like an hour was a much more convenient and valuable perk for the on-site guest. So I'm happy there's at least 30 minutes there. I wish it was an hour. An hour would just seem much more valuable to me. And then we get to the evening magic hours, or whatever they're calling them right now, that aren't in every park like the 30 minutes in the morning are. Select parks, select nights are open an additional, I think it's 2 hours. Maybe it's a little bit longer than that now. Lost my notes. But you have to be a deluxe or a villa guest. So now if I'm staying at a Coronado, or I'm staying at a All-Stars, or I'm staying at a Pop. I do enjoy Pop. I still got to get out of the parks because I'm apparently not as valuable as your deluxe guest, or not worthy. I've been deemed not worthy. And I know that's probably not the feeling they're going to send out there, but I know that's how kind of I feel. But I do understand that they're trying to add value to the deluxe resorts to get people to book deluxe resorts. That doesn't mean I'm still not feeling like you're either purposely or not on purpose setting a class system. That's how I feel. All right, without getting into the details of the Genie Plus system, we still have to do a show on that. I'm going to kind of let that filter out there a little bit, see how it kind of goes before we really get into it, because I think some of the things that they're doing aren't going to actually happen the way they're initially saying here. But the FastPass system, initially free, I will concede, I think the plan going forward was for a paid FastPass system. So, but again, as we're coming out of COVID and we have the COVID-tunities, as I've said before, Disney is doing everything they can to get all this stuff done as soon as possible so they can say, coming out of COVID, this is what we had to implement. This is the direction we decided to go. And then if they have to tweak it later, they'll tweak it later. But it's easier to get everything done now. I think that's why we're being bombarded with all these extra charges and all these extra procedures that we didn't have to worry about before. So now we're going to have the Genie Plus option, the extra $15 per ticket per day. That apparently if you buy it as part of your package, or you buy it when you get your tickets, you have to buy it for the entire length. So if you go down there and you're buying a 5 or 6 day ticket and you're paying for it at that time, you have to pay for it every day. But once you're down there, if you do not have the option, then you can just put it on select days of your ticket. That's how I understand it. We'll see if that's exactly how it will still implement, but just so everybody knows, be aware of that. And then there's the whole lightning lane, on demand. I want to go in now. Here's my cash. Run it. That feels kind of wrong to me, actually, but do I understand why they're doing it? Yes. Do I have to like it? No. Let's get that straight right there. Just because I understand it doesn't mean I have to approve of it. So you're like, Tim, why are you bringing all this up? Why do you think Disney wants additional revenue from the parks. Well, in the history of the Disney parks, of the Disney Corporation, the parks have always lifted up the company. When other areas of the company weren't doing well, the parks had always helped bolster up the company. Now, I understand they have Disney Plus, and they're making lots of cash on that. And I've actually heard this week that they expect in 3 years that Disney Plus might be the #1 streaming platform. It's passing Netflix, so that's kind of crazy. But looking at like the movies coming out, do you see any like potential billion-dollar movies coming out? Do you see any like the Iron Mans, the End Games? I don't see that coming. So I think they're trying to we don't want to have any more losses than we've had due to COVID. So we're going to look forward. We got to get this money coming through the parks because our movies they're good movies, but I don't see any billion-dollar movies coming out at least in the next year or so. Is there anything? I mean, and I just heard they're pushing back the Marvel releases and the new Indiana Jones release. So actually, I heard that just before I started recording. So that was kind of fortunate. Anyway, so listener Amy, who I talked about earlier, sent me a little video of somebody criticizing the parks and the value and the dollars, and I'll post that in the show notes if you want to watch that also. Amy posts over there at Looper Nation Live, or our private Facebook group, and but she sent me a message, and she said she doesn't want to shell out all this money for an expensive Disney trip for a lesser experience. Because like I said, the price hasn't gone down, the price is only going up, and with everything being a la carted, stuff that was included before, isn't going to be necessarily now. So, and I responded to her, I said, it's totally unfair, because it seems like everybody that saves up, a year, 2 years, or even more, as you get saving up, you're getting closer. Disney's moving the goalposts for what you need for your ideal Disney vacation. I understand. I don't like it at all, Amy. I don't like it. Oh, I think what we're going to have to do is maybe take a look at our Disney vacations. If we're starting to get priced out now, which a lot of people are, I mean, that's, I don't think Disney's hiding that fact at all. But, they have enough people coming that's how they're going to manage the crowds. That's the main reason they can help control the lines and how busy the parks are, besides the park reservation system. Ugh, that's a whole other ball of wax. It's a whole other episode for a different day, maybe. But, I gotta get this show out there so I can talk about the positive stuff, because there's so much positive stuff and so much good stuff. So with this a la carting and all the stuff I've just talked about, what can we do? Well, first of all, if you do go to the parks, and you are going to Disney World on a vacation, or Disneyland, don't blame it on the cast members you see. The chances of you seeing a cast member there that has anything to do with this is very, very slim. They are all just doing their jobs, trying to make magic for everybody. Don't complain with them. I'm sure they feel like the exact same way you do. They just can't say it. They're just there helping you have a great vacation. If you need to lodge a complaint, send an email or send an actual letter to Disney. That seems to do more impact than even like mean tweets, to be honest. They'll just delete those. Send a letter. Go old-fashioned postal service on them. Have them read it that way. Another option, don't go to Disney. I mean, there's other vacations options we could talk about. There's other kinds of cruises. There's other theme parks. There's always that one down the street. We can talk about that a little bit if you'd like. Another thing you could do is change your Disney vacation plans. Do it a little differently than you've done before. Maybe while you have normally booked a moderate or even a deluxe hotel, maybe we should, consider staying off property. Maybe getting a Vrbo or a Airbnb, get somewhere kind of off property. My thoughts would be, if you can get a good rate at an Airbnb, or even like a Hyatt or a Hilton just off property, that are fantastic hotels with a kitchen, instead of doing a 1-week vacation, if you have the time from work, do a 2-day vacation, get 10-day tickets. You probably don't even need to get a park hopper, possibly the way you're going with this. Now, you have to pay for the parking when you go to the resorts, because unless you decide to Uber, but there's still an added cost with that. If you have groceries, you can figure, maybe we're going to do a sleep-in day, because we're not going to make we're not getting the 30-minute head start, so there's really no reason to get up early. We will take a more relaxed look at this park. So we have 10 days. We'll go in for 10 half days and do other things, enjoy other parks. Maybe go in for 9 days. We'll do a day over at NASA. Maybe we're going to go over to Universal. There's a thought. I'm a big fan of park half days. Enjoy the resort. Although if you're off Disney property, you could enjoy Disney Springs for a couple days, get some lunches over there. And while you're not staying at a Disney resort, doesn't mean you can't enjoy the resorts. Always enjoy, get a reservation at Beaches and Cream. Then you can skyliner over, check out the Riviera Hotel. Maybe you'll take a Disney vacation club tour. you're staying off property. Ooh, that'd probably be a good way to. Ooh, here's an idea. There's something you could probably you'd have time to do if you didn't have time to do it on a short 4 or 5 day vacation. Another option, of course, you can always wait and look out for discounts, see how things go, see how this 50th develops. There could be discount incentives. I thought there was going to be a few more incentives going into this winter, and so far all I've seen is some Florida discounts here and there, and a couple annual pass discounts. All right, it's time for the heresy involved. Here it comes. How about a split stay and stay at Universal? The Universal hotels, from what I've seen, I have some pretty good pricing. I did a couple prices here before I started the show, just so I could make sure I was telling you the truth, first of all. The new Endless Summer Resort, their version of a value. They're advertising as starting at $91 and up. And the Ventura and Cabana Bay hotels, I think they equivalate? They might equivalate, and they might be very similar to the Disney Moderate hotels. They're starting about $132. I put in some test dates just for fun. I got Endless Summer Resort had it equivalate $102 for a regular room and then $150 for a 2-bedroom suite at the Endless Summer Resort, where All-Star Movies was $135 a night and Port Orleans French Quarter was $239 a night. I think I might have said a week, but All-Star Movies $135 a night, Port Orleans French Quarter $239 a night. Again, I'm not saying Disney hotels aren't worth what they're charging, but if you don't find the value in that, you need to cut back so you can enjoy your theme parks. It's just an option. There's plenty of options in the Orlando area for lodging. So now, if you're considering the theme park options that I talked about earlier, about maybe staying off property and getting 10-day tickets if you have that kind of time, I just thought we'd talk about some prices. I picked some random a few days in January. I think this is for the middle of January, just to give us so we all talk about the same kind of price tags here. 5-day tickets, non-park hopper. Again, 5 days, $485. 10-day non-park hopper, $569, so less than $100 more for 5 days. We all know that the theme park tickets, once you get past that 5th day, the price drops per day tremendously. A 5-day park hopper, $570. A 10-day park hopper, $654. Kind of crazy for, again, less than $100, 5 more days in the parks. 5-day park hopper plus. So say you're going to the parks, you're half a day in the morning or afternoon. I'm going to go to the water parks. Maybe you've never had a chance to enjoy the water parks. These tickets, $590 for a 5-day ticket, or $674 for a 10-day ticket, including the water parks and the golfing and the miniature golf and that kind of thing. Just some options to kind of look at. I know I'm saying, save money by staying for 10 days. I'm not sure if you would save money or get a longer vacation, but a 10-day vacation, half-day parks, maybe some water parks, maybe be a more relaxing Disney kind of vacation. So I hope this show kind of made sense. I talked about a lot of different things I've been wanting to bring up. And actually, when I wanted to put the show out, it was the day before the 50th anniversary. And is it wrong that I still want to call it the 10th anniversary, going back to the 10th annual? And then it didn't feel right like the week during, and I just kind of drug my feet on it. I'm like, I got to get the show out there. I can't talk about something fantastic without talking about how it's, the recent structure of things there is affecting a lot of people, and have them reconsidering, if they're going to go or how they're going to go. I know Disney's getting some flack from a lot of people, and again, I'm not saying it's not well deserved, because I think it is, because Disney spent years and hyping up, Magical Express. Here's what we're giving you. Here's how much we appreciate you. We just can't wait to get you into the parks. And now we're taking that away. Also, you had to make your dining 180 days ahead of time. Now it's only 60 days. But, they sent all these rules up. Everybody conformed. Everybody knew what was going on. And now, so abruptly, after everybody had to deal with all the COVID stress and everything for that full year, when was everything going to open back up? When are we going to be able to go back down there? Are we going to be able to go back down there? And, starting to lay out some plans, and now that all that stuff's changing, I understand it. We're going to get through this together. As a community, let's all come together. Let's all join up in Looper Nation Live, where we can share our ideas, thoughts. We just had a bunch of super loopers down there on vacation. They were posting pictures. Yes, Lisa Watson and Sydney Seeger, I'm looking at you. By the way, with Sydney Seeger, it was her anniversary trip down there, so happy 5th anniversary to you guys, by the way. I will say, if anybody has any tips, how do we need to go forward? How would you suggest we go forward, use the new system to the best of our ability for a great Walt Disney World vacation. We're going to turn this frown upside down. We're going to look forward. We're going to hold hands. We're going to walk down Main Street, right down the middle of Main Street. Hope we're not in the way of the trolley. And have a good time. You break to the right or to the left? You go to Tomorrowland or Adventureland to start your day. And if you're saying the confectionery, that might be a good call also. I would like to thank everybody for listening. This has been a great show. It was a positive show, wasn't it? Oh, come on, we're all in this together, as they would say in High School Musical. Everybody, I'm Tim Scott. Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. If you've not subscribed to the show, trust me, it's going to be fantastic. Subscribe, get all these shows as they come out. There's a backlog. Trust me on that one also. Everybody, you've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. We will see you, everybody. Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com. Congratulations, Tim. You're a Debbie Downer.